My name is James Baly, I'm the Technical Director for Nowcomm, and today it's all about Microsoft Teams. I'm going to show you the good, the bad and the ugly. So let's take a look and see what's good about Microsoft Teams. Firstly, there is a free client, so everybody likes that. You also get it included if you've got Business Premium, E3 and E5 licenses. And what you get for that is one-to-one chat capability with video and audio. You can organize your contacts accordingly. You can see their present status and send them messages. You can also create teams, tight integration with calendar, and the ability to share files and possibly hook up to your cloud storage. Pretty decent if you want a communication tool that works seamlessly for internal communication. Okay, the bad. Here's what I think is the main bad feature about Microsoft Teams. It's really only good if you're communicating internally, and I'll show you why. Here I want to do an external communication with Kev Prone. I know that Kev is on a Gmail account. Doesn't find him in my contacts, understandably, because he's not internal. Couldn't find him externally either. No way to have a one-to-one chat with Kev unless I invite him to a meeting and then I can chat with participants of the meeting. A little bit poor. How about someone who is in a team space? So you've created a workspace, and in this case, I've got one called Nowcomm Guest Space. Have a look at the team, and I can see that I've got a couple of internal members, and I've got a couple of guests, Kev Prone and James Baly. Okay, so far so good. So I want to communicate with James. Matches him. I can see, oh, he's actually offline, sorry, not online, he's just gone offline. Never matter. Where are you? Can you help me, for instance? So I'm sending the message. I kind of would have expected that message to go through. Let me flick over to my web version of the client, which is here. And I can see here in my chats that actually nothing is coming up. That is because I need to be in the Nowcomm guest space or guest org to receive my chat messages. So I will switch over to the Nowcomm guest space as Peter Parker, my alter ego. It reinitializes, puts on the skin effectively of the Nowcomm space. There we go. It would appear that I have got some messages. Some direct messages. Can you help me? There it is. Yes, I can. Okay, so you can see here, I can flick back to my full fat client and I can see we've got two-way communication going forward. It should have updated the status message. For some reason it hasn't. Never mind. We are communicating again. So because we're both in Nowcomm org, everything is good. If I flip that around and actually switch to, you can see here, you can be members or guest members in many different organizations, as would be normal when you're communicating externally. If I switch to the North Lodge one, you can see things have changed a little bit here in terms of my look and feel. That's because I'm effectively now a guest in the North Lodge org. So same sort of thing. I now want to do a conversation with Peter Parker / James. Are you there? Okay, so I'm in North Lodge. I flick over to James as a client, and because he's still in the Nowcomm guest space, he doesn't get the chat. There's no notification. I've literally turned on all the notifications I could think of, and it doesn't pop up. It's only when I go back to my home org, like going back into my office, do I see my chat messages that I have missed. And it's the same thing in team spaces as well, but this is only just one-to-one chats. There we go. New chat comes in, are you there? So let's go to the team space just to show that quickly. So I've got Project X going on. New update, please, team. So that goes out to all team members of that space. And if we have a look here, it's called NL External. And in my team of NL External is James as Nowcomm, as you can see there, and Kevin as well. So I would flick over to what you'd think would be my space. Oops, no, I'm in the wrong org. Let me think. Must go to my Nowcomm org. Okay, back to the home org. Let's have a look at my teams. No, it's not there. Oh, you're right. I'm in the wrong one. You get the idea. I need to go to the North Lodge one, but it's not in my chat one. I need to go to my teams and the team within the team, or my space within the team, and there's the message. So there's a high likelihood that you're not actually going to see any of the messages unless you happen to be in the same org at the same time, and that isn't really collaborating. The ugly, and it really does get pretty ugly, this one. There are two main things that I really don't like about Microsoft Teams. The first one is data loss prevention. Organizations must have the ability to control what their users send externally. There may be confidential files, there may be credit card details, etc., that you want to prevent. So I have got that at Nowcomm. I do not want people to be able to send confidential rocket plans or national insurance numbers externally. I will demonstrate just very quickly. So if I do my national insurance number and I send it to the project space, which contains external members, what should happen is my data loss prevention rule within Office 365 would block that message and prevent it from being shared in the space. The same thing goes if I try and send a file of my confidential plans, my rocket ship plans, for instance. Wait for it to upload and then to send, just a sort of extra demonstration. The data loss prevention, or DLP mechanism, kicks in as expected with the effect that the message is not shared in that external space. Okay, so I know that I've got Peter Parker, aka James, in a guest space. So I'm going to switch over now to another space, still within my same client. And I've got a Project X workspace here. So actually, I know what. I'll send James my national insurance number, just so you see. It's exactly the same. And why not? Let me send him that same file of the rocket ship plans. So wait for it to upload. And then we send it across. Hey, happy days. I've managed to circumvent my DLP rule. Ugly. So ugly part 2 is calling. Let's have a quick look at that, because that really is broken when it comes to Microsoft Teams. If I go to my calling option here, everything's hunky-dory. I can see that I've got my internal contacts, and I've also got some speed dials for external contacts. Let me have a go at calling James's phone, which I've got here represented as a mirrored icon on the side. So I'm outbound calling to James's iPhone. James's iPhone starts to ring. James's iPhone is answered. Everything so far so good. End the call. And if I just demonstrate that in a reverse direction, if I have a look at my recent calls, I can also make the call back in towards Microsoft Teams. Okay, answer the phone, and I've got a full conversation. Hello. Okay. I now happen to be collaborating with Peter Parker in the North Lodge space, so I move over there. You'll notice a few things straight away, that my calling capability has been cut down. That's not so good. But worse still, when James's iPhone wants to call me, put it on speaker so you can hear it. Where's the call? Unavailable? I'm online. I'm available. When you have finished, please hang up or press the pound key for more options. Okay. Oh, James, we were talking. Where are you? I'm being a bit silly, but you get the idea. When I'm not in my home org, and when I've switched to a guest org as a guest, and there's two that I could be in here, I lose all my messaging. I need to switch back to my home org, and only then do I see, oh, I've missed some activity, and oh, I've got a voicemail. I mean, that's so 1980s. It's like leaving your house, setting your answer machine for the day, coming back at the end of the day and finding you've missed a whole load of calls and a whole lot of messages. I think it actually can get worse than that. So if I go to my speed dials here and I'm chatting away to James on his iPhone, let's place that call again. Just wait for it to ring. Okay, so I've answered the call. Just going to put it on mute. So we're happily talking away. I said, James, you know what? What would be really good if we switch to your guest org and you can show me the files that you're talking about? Yes, good idea. Switch to the guest org. Oh no. If I switch orgs, it'll actually end my call. I don't believe it. Switch anyway. Oh. Huh? Ugly. One extra ugly feature I've noticed actually when looking around the product is if I send somebody a chat message, and here I've sent an attachment, and I'll do it again with another one, just so you see, and it's not a fake. So I'm in the North Lodge guest organization, and I'm collaborating with everybody else within that team, and I've sent them a picture called Fix2. There it is, uploaded, no problem. I'm pretty useless at organization, so I want to find it. So I use the search bar at the top. Let's search for fix. Fantastic. 2 messages with the word fix. Brilliant. I'm now going to go back to my Nowcomm org because that's where all my messages are, and that's how people can contact me, and that's how I need to be when I need to make calls. A little bit weird, but there we go. So working away, I've got chat messages going on, I've got I've got calls, etc. So I need to find that picture that sent. I know it's called fix. I know it was. So I'm going to type it in the box at the start there. There we see. No matches, no messages, no people, no files. You can only search for things that have been deposited within your organization. Again, really ugly. So in summary, there is way more ugly than there is bad, and there's way more ugly and bad than there is good. So I recommend you check out Microsoft Teams in some detail before deploying it as a collaboration platform for you. So that was it. That's Microsoft Teams. Hopefully you found that video interesting and enlightening. If you've got a digital strategy and you want to move away and move forward from email, then please have a look at some of the links below or get in touch with me directly.